Students, let's do Brahmanadam. Om Shanti 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 Swasth.
Good morning students, welcome back to class again. Today we will start again with the topic that is your cell wall structure. In previous classes we have studied about the cell wall structure, its basic structure, that is it consists of three parts, that is your middle lamella, primary cell wall and secondary cell wall. Okay. Then today we will discuss about Pete's and plasma disorder. Okay. We know all that cell wall is the basic structural unit that provides the strength to the plant cell, and it is absent in case of animal cell. In prokaryotic cell it is made up of what? It is made up of peptidoglycan, and in fungus or fungi it is made up of chitin. But in plant cell it is made up of which element? That is your cellulose. Okay. In primary cell wall it is, or in middle lamella it is made up of calcium and magnesium pectate, and in primary cell wall it is elastic in nature, but in secondary cell wall it is made up of 3 to 4 layers. That's why the secondary cell wall gives rigidity to the complete cell structure. Okay. Then in some cases we see the tertiary cell wall structure are present, and lastly we have discussed about the ultrastructure of cell wall, in which the cell wall is made up of mainly cellulose fibers, from which the cellulose fiber, the elementary fibrils are present, and elementary fibril from which elementary fibrils constitute the microfibrils, and lastly the largest bundle is known as your fibril. Okay, we have discussed in the previous class. Today we will discuss in details about the structure of pits and plasma desmata. Okay, first we will discuss about pit. What is that pit? In which it occurs in the cell wall of plant cell. It is absent in animal cell. Okay. First pits. First draw the diagram of the cell wall. First draw the diagram. Okay, this is the structure of your plant cell wall. Okay, this is your middle lamella. This structure is known as your primary cell wall. Okay, we have discussed in previous class. Primary cell wall. Then this structure in between secondary cell wall and primary cell wall, this structure is known as your pit. Okay, this structure is known as your pit. Okay, pit is the unthickened part of secondary wall layer. Okay, here you can see the unthickened part of secondary wall. Okay, here you can see the primary cell wall, and next after the primary cell wall there will be secondary cell wall, but here there is a gap present in between, or there is a unthickened part is present in the secondary wall. This unthickened part is known as your pit. Okay, then next one is your pit consists of only the primary cell wall. Only the primary cell wall, where secondary cell wall is not present. Okay. Next point is your secondary cell wall is not present in the pit. We can see the structure of pit, only the primary cell wall is involved, not the secondary cell wall. It is the umbilical part of the secondary cell wall. That's why we called it as pit consists of only the primary cell wall, where secondary cell wall is absent. Okay, secondary cell wall is absent, or it is not present, or it is not embedded near the primary cell wall. The next one is your pits consist of three parts. Okay, you can divide the pit into three structure. One is your pit, another is your pit membrane, and next one is your pit cavity. Suppose this is one of your pit here, then this is known as your pit membrane. This portion is known as your pit membrane. Then this is known as your pit cavity, and this top portion is known as your pit core. Okay, three terms are there: pit core, pit membrane, and pit cavity. There are three elements are present in the pit. One is your pit core, pit cavity. Next one is your pit membrane. This complete three structure will give rise to your pit structure. Okay. The next one is your pit consists of primary cell wall, and middle lamella. Here you can see the pit structure which is present. There is involvement of only primary cell wall. This is the primary cell wall and the middle lamella. No secondary wall is embedded near the pit structure. That's why we call pit consists of only primary cell wall and middle lamella. Note down these points and draw the diagram. See, another point is that pit cavity is also known as your pit chamber. You can call pit cavity as your pit chamber. Okay. Draw the diagram. Okay, next we will discuss about the types of pits. How the pits are classified. Pits are classified on the basis of their size and shape. Okay. Mainly there are two types of pits. One is your simple pit and border pits. Okay, first we have drawn the diagram. This one is your simple pit, and this diagram is your border pit. This one is your simple pit, and this one is your border pit. Why the pits are classified? Because their size varies. Here you can see the pits are of uniform size, or the core of the pit is of uniform size, but here you can see the deviation in the size and flat shaped pit are present. These flat shaped pit are known as your border pits. Okay. You can define simple pit as are uniform size, but border pits these are non-uniform in size and are class set. Are class set. Okay, here you can see the class set pits are present. These are known as your border pits. This is your middle lamella. This one is your primary cell wall. And there may be presence of three parts. This one is your pit membrane. Pit membrane. This is your pit chamber. This part is known as your pit chamber, and this small portion of the pore is known as your pit pore. Pit pore. Then what is the main function of the pit? Question arises. The main function of the pit is that it mainly helps in transport of substances between the cell. Okay. If we say what is the main function of the pit, you can say when there is presence of two cells, the pit will help the transport of different substances, different minerals from one cell to the other cell. Suppose this one is your one cell and this is another cell, then there is presence of a pit structure or pore-like structure which helps in the transport of different substances and water are transported like that. Okay, note down these points, then we will discuss about the structure of plasmodesmata. Okay, next point is your plasmodesmata. Okay, what is the plasmodesmata? It is the term plasmodesmata was given by Starsberger in 1901. Okay. The term plasmodesmata was given by Starsberger in 1901. Then what is that plasmodesmata and what is its structure? Plasmodesmata are cytoplasmic strands joined through intercellular junctions. Here one term comes, that is your cytoplasmic strands and they are joined through by intercellular junctions. What is that two term? First draw the diagram of the plasmodesmata, then you can able to understand what is this two term. First draw the diagram. Suppose this is your cell. Okay, this is two adjacent cells that is present near to each other, and this one is on this part is known as your cell wall, and this part is known as your plasma membrane. And inside the plasma membrane, all you know, the fluid is known as your cytoplasm. The fluid of inside the plasma membrane is known as your cytoplasm. We know that plasmodesmata are cytoplasmic strands which are joined through intercellular junctions. Okay. Then there is formation of a pore-like structure. We have previously studied the pits which are present in the secondary cell wall. Okay. These plasma membranes are joined through the one structure, one pore-like structure. That structure is known as your plasmodesmata. This structure are known as your plasmodesmata. Okay. This is intercellular junctions. Here comes two terms. One is your intercellular and another one is your intracellular. If we say in between two cells, it is intercellular. If we consider a single cell, the movement of particles, that is known as your intracellular movement. Here you can see the joint of the two cells through the pore. That pore is known as your plasmodesmata. Here we can say another point is that plasmodesmata is the extension of plasma membrane. Plasmodesmata is the extension of plasma membrane by a pit. Okay, by a pit-like structure, the plasma membrane is extended to which gives a pore-like structure or interconnect two cells. That structure is known as your plasmodesmata. The next one is your plasmodesmata maintains protoplasmic continuity. Between the cells. It maintains protoplasmic continuity. Here you can see the protoplasmic continuity. All you know about the protoplasm, which is the fluid present in between the cytoplasm and cytoplasm plus nucleoplasm. It gives the protoplasmic content. All these here you can find the vacuole and nucleus. Here also you will find vacuole and nucleus. The protoplasmic content. Protoplasmic content is that the cytoplasmic fluid plus the fluid of nucleus. It is known as a protoplasm. The materials or substances are transported through the plasmodesmata. All the structures or the elements are transported through the structure or the plasmodesmata structure to the nearby cells or adjacent cells. That's why we call it as it maintains protoplasmic continuity between the cells. In this way, the plasmodesmata helps the cell to maintain its protoplasmic continuity. This transfer of molecules from one cell to the other is the process known as your symplastic process, or we can call it as symplast. This movement of particle from one cell to other or inside the protoplasm is known as your symplast, and it is different from the apoplast. How it is different? Another term arises, that is your apoplast. APOPLAST. This is symplast movement. This movement is known as your symplast. But when the transfer of substances is occurred through the gaps between the cellular and plasma membrane or intercellular spaces, that movement of molecules is known as your apoplast. That movement of molecules or substances between the cellular and plasma membrane, that is intercellular spaces, that is your apoplast. Okay, note down these points, then we will discuss about some cellular deposition. After pits and plasmodesmata, we will discuss about some cell wall depositions which are present in the cell wall. Mainly, there are four types of cell wall deposition. Four types of cell wall deposition. What is that? That is one your lignin. Next one is your suberin. Third one is your tryptin, and fourth one is your mucilase. These are some chemical depositions which are produced or deposited during the development of the primary cell wall, secondary cell wall, and the middle layer. Okay. First, discuss about lignin. Lignin is formed by hydrogenation and polymerization of aldehydes and alcohols. Lignin is formed by two methods. One is your dehydrogenation and another one is your polymerization. What do you mean by dehydrogenation? Yes, that is dehydrogenation. In the process of dehydrogenation, there is removal of hydrogen. In process of dehydrogenation, removal of hydrogen occurs, and polymerization is a process by which different monomers unite to produce a polymer. Okay, these are the two processes by which lignin is formed. The next one is that it is present as a complex chemical in the secondary cell wall of woody hard tissue. These are some complex chemicals which are present in woody hard tissues. What do you mean by hard tissues? These hard tissues are mostly present in case of where you will find the cambium. Where cambium is present, you can find these type of hard tissues. As you all know, the secondary wall is composed of 4 layers, that is S1, S2, S3 and S4. That's why it is giving rigidity to the cell or the secondary wall structure. That's why the structure of the lignin is present in secondary cell wall, which gives rigidity to the tissues. Then next point, here you can find lignification process. What is lignification? That is deposition of lignin in cell wall is known as your lignification process. It makes the cell impervious to water. It makes the cell impervious to water. What is that impervious? Impervious means the water and other minerals cannot easily pass through the cell because of the presence of lignin. Okay, note down these points, then we will discuss some other deposition. Next cellular deposition is your suberin. It is a fatty substance. It is a fatty substance deposited on cork layer. Okay, where do you find the cork layer? You can find the cork layer in the higher plants, in angiosperms. Okay, the fatty substance, it also makes, suberin also makes impervious to water. It also makes the cell impervious to water, like that of lignin. It also like that. Or the function of the lignin and suberin is to maintain or to protect or to restrict the flow of water to the cell. Then next is your cutin. Next cellular deposition is your cutin. Where this cutin is present? It is present on the cuticle of the epidermis. We can find most of the cutin is present. These are deposition of cuticle of epidermis. You can draw the diagram of the epidermis, then you can be able to understand what is the part. Okay, suppose this is your epidermis and there is presence of a layer upon the epidermis. These are three layers you can find. You can study in the anatomic structure of the plant. This structure is known as your cuticle, which is the outer covering of the epidermis. This portion is known as your epidermis, and after the epidermis there is present of cortex. Okay, these are the main three structures you can find in the cuticle of epidermis. What is that content? Cuticle mostly contains the cutin. Okay, this cutin mainly helps in transpiration process or lowers the loss of water during transpiration process. There is presence of small stomata-like openings in the epidermis. You can find small openings in the epidermis. That openings is known as your stomata. These openings in the epidermis are known as your stomata. Okay. Then one process is there, transpiration process. What is that process? In transpiration process, there is loss of excess water from the plant body through aerial parts of the plant. Suppose this is your plant. Okay. Then the excess water which are absorbed by the roots. These are the roots which will be absorbed. Then it will be lost to the outer environment through stomata-like structure. Okay. That process is, or a loss of excess water is maintained by the cutin structure or cutin deposition. Why it maintains the excess loss of water? Because it is a waxy layer. Cutin is a waxy layer. That's why it is maintaining the water loss during the transpiration process. Note down these structures, then we will discuss the another deposition. Okay, next deposition is your mucilage. What is that mucilage? Mucilage is a slimy substance that absorbs water. When that mucilage will be dry, then cell will be hard. But when the moisture is present, when the mucilage is present, the moisture will be present in the cell. Then that will provide that will provide viscous condition. When they will be dry, the cell will be hard. When this will be present, they will provide moisture to the cell and the cell becomes viscous. These four are the main points, that is lignin, cellular deposition. First one is your lignin, then suberin, then cutin and mucilase. Then let us discuss about some function of cell wall. Already we have discussed some functions in the pits and plasmodiesmata. Then write down some important functions of cell wall. What is that function? One is your, it is the mechanical layer. We have already discussed why it is mechanical layer. That is, it provides rigidity to the cell. That's why it is called as a mechanical layer. Then second one, it provides definite shape and size to the cell. As the cell is covered by a cell wall. Okay, that's why it is providing a definite shape and size to the cell. We have discussed pits and plasmodesmata. Pits and plasmodesmata. What is the main function of pit and plasmodesmata? Yes, they mainly helps in the transport of substances and other organelles from one cell to the other. Transport of various substances from organelle. Pits and plasmodesmata helps in transport of substances. Transport of substances between the cells. We have drawn the diagram of plasmodesmata. We can see the structure. Okay, you can recall that by which the transporter moving from one place to other by symplastic method. Okay, by symplastic method. The next one is your cell wall is porous. Why it is porous? That is presence of more number of pits and plasmodesmata. That's why it is porous, and it helps in continuous flow of water. Flow of water in between cells. Then next point is your the cell wall can give different structures during cell division. That is, the cell wall which give rise to the root hairs, rhizoids, which arises from the cell wall. Okay, root hairs, rhizoids, flowers, fruits, etc. Okay, these parts, that is root hairs, rhizoids, flowers and fruits, can be produced or during the cell division process. Okay, that is the fate of the different cell parts. It is dependent upon the cell wall. Okay, note down these points. Okay, next point is that cell wall also prevents the cell from desiccation. What do you mean by desiccation? That is, desiccation is the process by which removal of moisture. Okay, in desiccation process, the moisture of the cell will be goes out, that becomes dry. But if there is presence of cell wall, then desiccation will not be occur, that is it will prevent the removal of moisture from the cell. Then next one is your presence of cell wall. It stops the entry of pathogen to the cell, to the inside of the cell. Okay, it will stop the entry of pathogen to the cell. Okay, thereby it protects from the, it protects the cell from foreign pathogens. Then next point is your, it is also helpful, or the products of cell wall, is helpful to mankind. How it is helpful? Because you can see different fiber industry, cellulose industry are made up from the cell wall. Okay, fiber, wood are made up from the cell wall. Okay, these are the some benefits or the main functions of the cell wall we have discussed. Today what we have discussed, let us recall. We have discussed the structure of peds, structure of plasmodesmata, how plasmodesmata is helping in maintaining the protoplasmic continuity in between the cell, and we have discussed the different cellular deposition, that is 4 types. One is your suberin, lignin, cutin and your mucilase. Okay, length of this cell wall, the wood tissues is improved, and in function we have discussed several functions. Okay, today we will completed the cell wall, then we will discuss in next class, that is your structure of plasma membrane. Thank you.